Hello and welcome to the Not the Old Firm YouTube channel. My name is Ben Banks. Today's video looking back on St Mirren 0, St Johnstone 0. We always pick a game to look back on from the weekend's Premiership or Cup fixtures, and we landed a winner this weekend. A fairly tight weekend all in, to be fair, and there was plenty of action in this and some decent enough stuff post-match as well from Jim Goodwin, the St Mirren manager. If you haven't already subscribed, please do so. It would be much appreciated as we push towards 1,000 subscribers. That's our big goal for some point, hopefully in the near future, and won't put any time limit on it, but that is a big goal for us, and if you would like to help us achieve that, would be much appreciated, so we bring out more content like this. In terms of the game, I'd probably say St Mirren edged the first half, and certainly had the better of the chances. I think Jamie McGrath again really good. The fans are singing "Don't Sell McGrath" halfway through it, and it is pretty clear to see why he stands out a bit in that St Mirren team now. He's a bit, perhaps you could argue quality-wise about the differences, but it's got that feel I sort of seen with David Turnbull and the Mullow team last year, where you can just tell that that player in question just so many levels above his teammates, with all due respect to him. Jim Goodwin saying post-match that the players wouldn't mind saying that Jamie McGrath is St Mirren's best player, and it is very, very apparent. If you didn't know who Jamie McGrath was going to that game and you were watching St Mirren for the first time, it wouldn't take you long to find out who it was without knowing anything prior. But he created a good chance for Curtis Main, and I don't know how Richard Tate didn't score towards the end of the first half. Xander Clark just called up to the Scotland squad, proved why, and a logic-defying one-handed save towards the end of the half. But then St Johnstone, who have been playing European games this week, they have been going to the wall sort of every 3 or 4 days for Callum Davidson, and it seemed to just take its toll in the first half. They didn't seem to be. They had made 6 or 7 changes, but the team just looked very tired. That sort of continued in the second half, but St Mirren got progressively worse as well, so perhaps it was offset a bit. You didn't really notice it as much, and when you brought Chris Kane and Glenn Middleton off the bench as well, who were a bit fresher and could give you a good half an hour, then that seemed to really push St Johnstone ahead in this game. Glenn Middleton really unlucky. He scored a free kick in the Scottish Cup semi-final last year against St Mirren, and he almost broke St Mirren hearts again, cracking the bar in the final few minutes. Which could have won it for St Johnstone. Ethan Errol was sent off late on for a bit of a lunge, and I think St Mirren fans could see that coming half an hour before it did happen. But a learning curve for the young player. I've been impressed with Ethan Errol any time I have watched him. Just this game, I perhaps got away from him a wee bit. Alan McCann as well. Perhaps not as good as he has been in the Galatasaray game earlier this month, which was spoke about, and then most recently the LASK game in Europa Conference League, but still very, very good. So yeah, tight game, although both sides are still winless. And yeah, they'll be very keen to get that after the international break. Although St Johnstone have got a bit of a tough run of fixtures on the horizon, especially Rangers at McDiarmid Park straight after. Now, getting into the post-match stuff, here's Jim Goodwin's stuff, pretty lengthy. He's just obviously back from his COVID-19 diagnosis, with the transfer market as well tumbling towards, I suppose, provided a transfer update. Who St Mirren could be signing in the final days of the window? Where's Jamie McGrath going, if anywhere? The contingency plans in place for him, and of course, a bit about the game yesterday. Have a look.
Yeah, I think in the first 45 minutes, I felt we were the better team, and I felt we certainly had the better clear-cut opportunities. I think in games as tight as what this one was always going to be, that first goal is massive, and I thought if we had got it by that time we were on top in the first half, then we'd have won the game. I think the goal we have disallowed is, for me, just watching it back with the analyst, it's onside. I think Conor McCarthy is bang in line with Sean Rooney, who's just behind him, and those are the kind of decisions that you need to go for you. And unfortunately, the linesman was too quick to put the flag up. It was a poor decision in my opinion, and then we've had 2 other really good chances as well. Curtis Main, Jamie does great breaking from midfield. Curtis gets a good shot off, Jamie follows in the rebound, should score, and Tates has one in the dying minutes of the first half where again he should score. So we could have easily been 2 or 3-0 up at half time. Jack Anik hasn't had a great deal to do throughout the course of the afternoon. He's came and took some crosses. His distribution was excellent, as you would imagine. The last 15 minutes of the second half, I thought we were a bit ragged and a bit disjointed, and St Johnstone, finished the the game a bit stronger than us, I felt. But in saying that, I can't remember Jack Anick having a save to make, apart from the Middleton one that comes off the crossbar. I think we were pretty solid at the back, and that's one thing that, a positive I suppose that we can take is that, we're coming into this game off the back of a real tough one last weekend against Celtic where we conceded 6. We conceded 2 in the previous match against Hearts, 2 before that. So getting back to clean sheet was important, and getting back to that resilience and being hard to beat was massive.
Does it take this just kind of sum up your kind of luck and the way things are going from in front of goal today? Because you had so many amazing balls, your delivery from set pieces, particularly in the box, was top class. You just couldn't get anybody to finish it.
Yeah, I mean, look, I don't want to keep going on about it, but we are creating chances. So I suppose I've got to be pleased with that in one aspect. But I did say to the players at half time, we've got to be ruthless. We've got to be clinical. There's a couple of the one there at the end of the first half. For me, everything needs to go into the back of the net there. You just the ball, the man, the goalkeeper, the whole thing needs to be 1-0. And that is the frustration from our point of view, because we are creating good chances. You can see the quality we've got coming in from dead balls. We're getting a lot of first contacts, which is good. Joe Shaughnessy's got on the end of a couple. Connor obviously with disallowed goal. Curtis Main. So we're okay. We drew the opening game of the season when we should have won. There's no shame in losing to Celtic in the form that they were in last weekend. We're okay. We're not firing on all cylinders, but at the same time, there's not many clubs in the league at the moment that are. So we've got another tough one coming up now, Dundee United. Another one to look forward to, but we'll try and recharge the batteries as best we can next week, and hopefully be good to go for that one.
How are you feeling after the last sort of How are you feeling after the last sort of 10 years?
Yeah, I'm fine. I had a couple of days where I had a sore head and a few aches and pains, but nothing too concerning. It was more frustrating for me than anything else. In normal circumstances, years gone by, you'd have took a couple of paracetamol and got on with things. But unfortunately, with the seriousness of the situation, then we can't. So last weekend was torture for me. Watching the game on a stream that was nearly 2 minutes behind was really difficult. And it was a legal stream, I have to say, before anybody gives me into trouble. It was one that was sent to me from our media guy. So yeah.
So this was better than that then, Jim, was it?
This was definitely better. I only had one day with the boys yesterday. I was only back into the training ground yesterday for the first time. So you're trying to get a lot of information into the boys. I've got to give great credit to my staff as well. For keeping things ticking along nicely. The players as well for their professionalism shown. Sometimes when the boss is not there or the manager is not there, people can down tools and not be as professional as what they should be. But in this group that won't happen, I know. So great credit to them. But today's a disappointing one because it's a game, I think, based on the opening 45 minutes, it's a game we should have won. And I think if we get that goal, I think it becomes a lot more relaxed and a lot more comfortable afternoon. You can sense the tension around the place in the last 15 minutes where the fans are getting a bit frustrated, as are we all, but credit to the players for being able to get another point on the board.
Still hopefully bringing some in before the window closes?
Yeah, I mean obviously we're in a little bit of limbo at the moment, just waiting to see what happens with one or two others, but we are working hard on bringing another one in, and hopefully I'll have some positive news on that one tomorrow morning. Fingers crossed. I definitely do need another one. There's no doubt about that.
You're desperate to keep hold of him. I know he's one of your best players. And
yeah, look,
so important.
You can see the quality again in Jamie there today. He's our best player, and I don't think any of the other players would mind me saying that. It's not being disrespectful to the rest of the group. Jamie's been outstanding. He's got, he's been rewarded again next week with going away with the Irish team, which is fantastic recognition for Jamie. But he's our player, it's as simple as that, and I think you can see in the performances that Jamie's putting in just now, he's not downing tools, he's not demanding for us to accept any bid. We've got a valuation for Jamie. Jamie understands the situation. We've spoke to his representatives, we've been very honest about the situation. We're not going to stand in anybody's way of going and getting a really good contract somewhere, but at the same time we can't allow any of our assets just to walk out of the door on the cheap. So we need to stand strong, we need to be firm with it, which we are, and credit to the board for that. If the valuation is met, then who knows what might happen. I've got a contingency plan in place where, if that does happen, then there's other players out there who we would look to try and bring in. But I don't want to lose Jamie. No manager wants to lose their best players, but at the same time we need to be fair to him as well.
that's all we got time for on this. Hope you have enjoyed. Do remember to like this video and subscribe to our channel. We'll have plenty of stuff this week. We'll have a bit of perhaps a bit different Scotland previews to last season. We'll have a couple of different interviews surrounding a couple of the new boys in the team. So do check that out once it arrives. We'll have reviews to the games once they're out. So Denmark first, Moldova, and then Austria. 3 really tough games for Scotland. Perhaps not the Moldova one, but at Hampden, that should be a fairly comfortable one. But Denmark and Austria certainly will prove challenging if Scotland want to go to Qatar in 2022. So yeah, tough games on the horizon, and we'll also have some transfer window reaction as well, with that shutting on Tuesday. Expecting the Scottish clubs to be very busy. Just on St Johnstone before I leave this, Cam Davison did speak, do have the gist of what he said, pretty much just summing up that they don't want to lose key players before the end of the window. Jamie McCart's bid from Hibs has sort of been officially announced, if you will. That has been officially bounced back. I'm still interested in Jamie McCart from the English Championship, but it certainly won't be Hibs. It will be moving to, at least it seems that way. Anyway, could change in the next 48 hours or so as I report this. Everything seems to move much quicker on today, as I record this Monday 30th of August, and then into Tuesday 31st. But yeah, that's all we've got time for. Please do remember to subscribe to the channel, like this video, and until next time, take it easy.